round 2 now. In this round, it's the first time we're going to be using camel stitches. For this round, it's only a few stitches each repeat, but in a few rounds, actually every stitch will be a camel stitch. So you get a chance to practice it now and use it a lot later. So we're going to join in a slightly weird place this time. Not one of the exact landmarks. We're actually going to join 3 stitches before the front post treble right here. So you want to find one of these connected pieces, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3 stitches before it. Join our yarn in there. So that join will count as our first single crochet. Now we're going to do the 3 single crochet back basically. So 1, 2, 3. That just gives you a little time to get ready for the camel stitches here. So these next 4 stitches are going to be what are called camel stitches, and it's actually basically just a single crochet, but instead of going in the front loop or the back loop, we're actually going to go behind the work and go in the 3rd loop that's right behind it. So again, camel stitch, not the first loop or front loop, not the back loop, but if you flip the work over, we're going to go into that back loop there, and then just do a normal single crochet. What that does, it's subtle, but it leaves both loops in front of the next stitch so that you get some 3D texture with those, so that it'll look like these front post stitches are connecting around all the way, not just going here, stopping, and then picking up a few stitches later. So we're going to do that 4 times. So for the next one, again, not the front loop, not the back loop, but if you go over, you want, and this one's being a little tight here, sometimes that happens, you want the loop all the way on the back. And then it's just a normal single crochet. So it's not really a whole new stitch, it's more of a technique, I guess. You could do other stitches, double crochet, treble crochet, whatever you need to into that back loop, that back. I think they're also called hump stitches or something like that, hence the camel reference. So that was 2, we need a 3rd one, not these 2. We're gonna go all the way into the back here. I find it's often easiest to grab it with my fingernail and pull it onto the hook. That's 3, and the last one, not these 2. We'll go into the back here. And that's all 4. So you notice both the loops end up being in front of the stitches, so it gives it some 3D. After that, we're going to do 4 more just normal single crochet into the back loop as we always do. So I'll stop again for a second so that you can see it. These ones pull the back loop. These ones, the camel stitches, actually leave the back loop in front so that you have a slightly connected piece right there. So after those 4, it's not yet done. We need an increase. And again, these are all just normal single crochet in the back loop. And after that, 7 more normal single crochet. That's 5, 6, and 7. And looking at this, we are 1, 2, 3 stitches before the front post stitch, so right where we want to be. Let's do the repeat one more time so you can see the camel stitches. We start with 3 normal single crochet, back loop only. And now we have the 4 camel stitches. So the camel stitches will actually be both the front post stitches and the 2 in between. So not the front, not the back, but if you flip the work over, let me get that tail out of the way, we're going to do the loop that's on the back of the stitch. So both the other ones are in front. That's 1. Like I said, sometimes it's easiest just to pull the loop onto the hook. That's 2. 3. The tighter your stitches, the harder this is, but the tighter your stitches, the nicer the work is. So it's sort of a balance between having things so tight you can't do anything and tight enough to stay nice and even. So there are the 4 camel stitches. Now we're going to do 4 regular single crochet. Just into the back loops. An increase. And now 7 more to finish the repeat. And 7. Let's check. That leaves me 1, 2, 3 stitches before the next front post. So that's it. Go ahead, repeat that pattern all the way around, and I'll see you for the next round. Okay, we're on to round 23, and actually the next 2 rounds are both going to be white yarn, but like we did before, you need to join one in, finish the round, join it again, finish the round, even though it's the same color yarn. So for this one, it's going to be a pretty simple round, just regular single crochet in the back loop with an increase thrown in there. So you want to start on an increase, so find any increase, and you want to start in the first stitch of the increase this time. The join, even though it's a chain, counts as our first single crochet. For this round, we've got 7 single crochet followed by an increase. So 1, this one's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did count right. Sorry, sometimes I just get lost in the middle. We're going to do an increase. And again, these are all just normal single crochet in the back loop. And now we want to fill all the stitches in until the next increase here should be 12 more single crochet. Count is right, we should be at the next increase. So right there was where we started. So all just single crochet in an increase, back loop only, normal stitches, join in the first stitch of an increase, 7 single crochet, an increase, 12 single crochet. That's the repeat. You do it 8 times all the way around, join the 2 ends, and then we start the next round. All right, we're ready to start round number 24. Which we're going to use the white yarn to connect again. And if you look here, I've actually done the first repeat for you to see it, but also for me to cheat to make it a little faster for the video. because this round, as well as the next round, are all going to be camel stitches. And with camel stitches, you need to make sure that you don't go into the front or back loop, but we're going to do all the stitches in that third loop, which is on the reverse side of the work. They can take a little bit longer, which is not convenient for a video, so I apologize. I will go as quickly as I can without splitting stitches, but I want to make sure that you can see what you need to do and see again how the camel stitches work. So this is what we'll end up having after our first repeat, and what you can notice is instead of having this front loop only being visible and having the work be very flat, when you do a camel stitch you get both loops of the previous round visible, and it gives it a 3D texture, so we have a little bit of a relief here. That's what we want. Now the good news with this, if you really are struggling with the camel stitches, because like I said, they take some practice, and more than anything they're just sort of long to do. It takes a little bit more effort to get it into that third loop on the back. You can in fact just do the next 2 rounds with plain single crochet in the back loop. It won't, you know, destroy your project or anything like that. You just won't get quite the same cool technique as you get with the camel stitch. Now you'll notice, because I just undid these, my third loop, the loop on the back, is a little bit wider because it's been stretched out a bit. That's going to make it go faster for me. But, or hopefully, let's put it this way, hopefully that's going to make it go faster for me. Again, it just takes a little bit of time and patience for camel stitch, and hopefully you'll go much faster and you'll be looking at this going, I don't know what she's talking about. They were really easy to do, so good for you. For this repeat, what we want to do is find an increase from our last round, which I got one right here, and we're going to join in on the first stitch. Now, because these are all camel stitches, we're not joining in the front or back loop. Normally we do the back loop. We're actually going to flip the work over and join in this stitch, the third loop it's called, on the reverse side of the work. So we join, no, don't lose my yarn. Sorry. We join with a chain stitch, and that's for our first repeat going to count as our first single crochet. So we want 9 single crochet before we do the increase. So this counts as 1, 2, 3, and you notice for each of these stitches I'm ignoring the front 2 loops. I'm flipping the work over and I'm going into the loop that's on the reverse side of the work right there. That's 4. Actually, I'll move the working yarn tail out of the way so that hopefully you can see better. So for this guy, again, for the camel stitch, not the front, not the back loop, but the loop on the reverse side, the third loop, which is right here. I think that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can use this finger to help you push it on. You can use your nail here to help you pull it on, whatever you need to do to get into that stitch and hopefully not split it. They're very easy to split, which is just gonna weaken your work and leave loops there that you don't want to see. I lost count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2 more. 8. 9. So after that, and you notice I've kind of gotten up to the front post from the previous one, so that can be a landmark to help you see what you're doing. So after our 9 single crochet, now we want an increase. We do an increase camel stitch the same way we do a single crochet increase. We're just going to go into the loop on the reverse side of the work and do 2 stitches instead of 1. And now to finish it out, we need 11 more single crochet camel. This one here is 6. If I can get it on there ever. Nine, hopefully. 10, and by my count, 11. And if I did this right, I should be in the last stitch before an increase, which I am. So that's the repeat here. You see those stitches are starting to turn up, so you get a little bit more detail and this sort of raised routine going on. So for the repeat, camel stitch all if you're able to do it, which I encourage you to try to do, but don't get discouraged if you have problems. Just go ahead and do regular single crochet and back loop. For this round for 24, we're going to join in the first stitch of an increase on the third loop on the back, 9 single crochet, an increase, and 11 single crochet, which should bring us back to another increase from the last round. That's the repeat, 8 times around total, and we're ready for the next round.